show you how to solve the inequality and write the solution set in interval notation. So today we have problem 9x minus x cubed is less than 0 and we have to solve for x. We have a lot of ways to solve math problem, and I always encourage you guys use different way to solve it. So one of the way for visual learner is to graph the function. So I already graph it on decimals. For you guys, you can use your graphing calculator to graph it. So I graph it on decimals. It's easier for us to look at the graph on decimals. And then on decimal, this is the graph of 9x minus x cubed. And it says less than 0. So that means we're looking for all the value of the function that is less than 0. In other words, it's below the x-axis, or below the y value equal to 0. Okay, so we know this is when y equal to 0, and then the x-axis also means by y equals 0. And then we can take a look at it. These we have 3 x-intercepts. But for the interval that we have, the y value is less than 0, is only from -3 to 0 and from 3 to the infinity. And you have to be careful with the notation, since the problem we have is strictly less than 0. So when we state the solution, it has to be parentheses -3 go to 0 parentheses, and then union. We use union because we don't have this part right here in the part of the solution. So therefore we union with the other part we have right here, which is parentheses 3 and go to infinity. And when we use parentheses, that means we don't include the value at -3, at 0, and 3. Okay. All right. Hopefully, using graph help those of you who learn visual learners can understand it better. Now I show you how to do it algebraically in case you don't have graphing calculator and you have to do it using algebra. So first of all, we will try to solve 9x minus x cubed equal to 0. Okay, so that's the first thing we have to do, is equal to 0. So we have 9x minus x cubed, and we set up equal to 0. And I believe all of you should be able to do this problem if I set up equal to 0. So then we use factoring method. So then we see that they both have x in common, so we factor out x, and then inside we should have 9 minus x squared equals 0. We can factor one more time using difference of square. So we have x equals 3 minus x, and then 3 plus x equal to 0. Now back to our prior knowledge, how to solve equation. So then we have x equal to 0, and then we have 3 minus x equal to 0, and then we have 3 plus x equal to 0. So x equals to 0, that means we already have one solution as x equals to 0. Now the next one, 3 minus x equals 0, how do we solve for it? We will do add x on both sides, so we have 3 equals x. It's solved. And then for this one, we don't want to subtract x on both sides because we don't want the negative x. So instead of that, we subtract 3 on both sides. So now we have x equals -3. So we have 3 solutions, x equals 0, x equals 3, and x equals -3. Now I put it on the number line. I have 0 here, I have -3 here, and 3 here. Go back to the sign I have right here. is strictly less than. Therefore, I have to use open dot at these boundary points. Okay, so now I split it into this region. So now I have to use few values to test it out to see which interval I will have all the positive value and which interval I have all negative values, or less than 0 or greater than 0. So for the first one, I will test, so I will pick -4. And when I use -4, I plug it into the equation, or even I plug it back into the original one, so I can have -9. Okay, I work on it on the side. So I have split the screen a bit here. So I have 9 times -4 minus -4 cubed. And I put question mark on top of the less than, because I'm not sure either is less than or not. So I have 9 times -4 is -36, and then minus -4 cubed, that means -64. And then I have -36 minus -64, that's means I have -36 plus 64 now. So I should get 28. And 28 is not less than 0. So it doesn't work. Okay? This doesn't work. Now I pick another value and so on. So I pick another value between -3 and 0. So I can pick -1. Okay, test with -1. Now I do the same thing. So the 9 times -1 minus -1 cubed, and then question mark on the less than 0. Okay, so then I have -9 minus -1. That means I have -9 plus 1, which is give me -8. And -8 is less than 0. Yes, it works. So yes, this value works. And then next, I will test another one. So I will pick between 0 and 3, I'll pick 1. And then I do the next one. So then 9 times 1 minus 1 cubed, question mark, less than 0. So then now I have 9 minus 1, which is 8. And 8 is not less than 0. So this region doesn't work, it's not true. And I do the same thing, I pick for the region that after the 3, I pick 4. So now I do the same thing, I have 9 times 4 minus 4 cubed, question mark on less than 0. So I have 36 minus 64 less than 0, and it's giving me -28, which is less than 0. So it works. Okay, so that means this region between -3 and 0 work, and also the interval that after the 3. So my solution will be written as x belong to parentheses 3, 0, parentheses union, parentheses 3 to infinity. Okay, so this is final solution we have for this inequality. Hopefully this helped you guys understand how to solve inequalities, and then you can work on it on your own in the future.